Hi, I'm Jake. Matt's not here, but we're still Cantrip Cartel, and we're going to talk some MTGO today. So I've seen a lot of talk on our personal Discord that people are wanting to try out MTGO, but they're a little intimidating with like how old and different it is. So I thought I'd do a little quick 10-minute video just on how to download the client, get some cards, maybe rent some cards, and play a quick game. So, how do I get MTGO? Google MTGO. It'll bring you to this will be like one of the first things that pops up. MTGO.com. This is Wizard's page where you can download and start for free. Now, when you start for free, you do have a pretty big restriction on the things you can do, like trading cards and doing stuff. So, highly recommend spend the $5, get full access to a full account, and then you'll be able to do everything you want to do on MTGO. So, how do you get a deck? You can build decks in MTGO with the collection of cards you have. You can buy cards. Unlike Arena, you can actually just go over to someplace like Card Hoarder, Google Card Hoarder, and you'll find it. And you can buy individual cards. You can buy Mana Crypt. You can spell Mana Crypt correctly and buy Mana Crypt. Definitely the biggest thing about MTGO that's like the best is expensive cards are almost always cheap. $8.50, $8.80, whatever, for a $140 Mana Crypt. That's pretty awesome. Things like Volcanic Island, $700 card in paper. It's going to be closer to like $20 on here. Cards aren't free, but they're pretty cheap. Something like one that's like a really cool thing to see, Sylvan Library, like a $50 card in paper. It's like less than $1. It's like 50 cents. Or no, it's 2 cents. So you see here you've got tickets and money. Tickets is the currency they use on MTGO. It's kind of like the gems. Tickets are 1 for 1. You buy one ticket for $1. They also have play points as like coins that you can earn, and they are used actually very much like coins. Where, let's say for a league, it costs 10 tickets that you can buy 10 tickets, or you could use 100 play points, and if you do well in the league, you'll get anywhere from 50 to like 400 play points. But let's say you're not buying the cards, you're going to be like me, and you're going to use a rental service because you want to play lots of different decks, and you don't want to keep spending $50 on this deck or $100 on that deck. But seriously, like decks are like 50 to $100 online a lot of times. Like standard decks are like $120. Legacy decks are like $500 or $600. Pauper decks are like $20. But let's say we want to come over here. Let's say we want to play 9 enchantments in standard. We go to MTG Goldfish or anywhere that we can find a deck list. We can download that deck list as a text file. Right there it is. I'm going to come over to my Mana Traders. I'm going to upload that text file right here. Hit upload. It's going to think. Boom. There's our deck. Full 75. Here's all the cards. For reference, to buy this would be 345 tickets to buy online. This is obviously a more expensive standard deck, but most of them aren't this expensive. And like the really cheap stuff is like Commander's pretty cheap, and so is like Pauper's pretty cheap, but $340. So we're going to rent this deck. I've already got hooked up to my MTGO account. I'm not going to buy any of this stuff, so we're going to hit rent. Now, while that's thinking, let's pop over to MTGO. In MTGO, the cool thing about it is it supports all these formats: Standard, Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Pauper, Commander, and Specialty, whatever that is. So it's pretty cool. You get to play all this kind of stuff, and you get to play for free forever. Like you can totally, like once you buy the cards or rent the cards, you don't have to like keep paying to enter tournaments. Kind of like in Arena, they have basically a free queue that you can just kind of queue up and play for free. So here you've got your entire collection. Here you've got all your decks for all your different formats. So like Pioneer, Modern, whatever. So we're going to add a new one. Oops, not a new binder. We're going to add a new deck. Now, I don't want to build the deck card by card, get in my collection and build and build and build. So I'm going to, just like for Mana Traders, I'm going to import this text file. I'm going to make sure the format is standard. I'm going to pick a cool deck box. I'm going to pick Oko. I'm going to hit OK. And in standard, boom, here's the deck. Got the whole thing. Now, obviously, I don't own any of these cards yet. We're still waiting on Mana Traders over here to get us our cards. So they're working. They're about halfway there. Usually takes couple minutes. So I come over here. I should be getting a notification here soon for a trade initiated by them. I'll accept. Here's all the cards I've asked to rent. And the way this works is if you want to trade with, you could trade with a friend too. It puts all the cards that's in a trade binder up here, and you could say like I want all of this, and you can put it all over here, and your friend could put what you know, if you're trading them one card for one card, or maybe you're giving them like 10 tickets for some cards, they would put what they want over here. I put what I want over here. All right, to make sure the items are 0, so there's nothing left, and I'm getting 75. I'll hit submit. It'll think for a second. So now we get one more chance to check to make sure I'm getting all this, my opponent's getting all this, or not my opponent, my whoever I'm trading with. I will confirm. And now I've got all this added to my collection. I can close this, and now I got everything in here. Now it's important to know that sometimes if cards have multiple versions, you might have to like make sure you have the right one. So like Mana Crypt's a great example. There's like 10 different versions of Mana Crypt, and if you rent cards a lot, they kind of just rent you whatever card they have available at the time. They don't give you like the same one. So you'll have like a little green like asterisk thing here. What you would do is you can just right click in the white space, and there'll be a bunch of things in here. One of them at the bottom will say update with versions in collection. That way you'll just like fix everything. It'll make sure like if you have the wrong planes or the wrong Mana Crypt or the wrong Sylvan Library, it'll just fix all that and make it so that it just shows that what you actually have so you can play. So let's go play a game. Let's head over to Constructed. We're going to choose Standard. Now there's things like Standard Leagues, which cost like $10 to enter. So a Standard League costs 10 tickets. Tickets are 1 each, so they're $1 each. You can also get those play points. So like if you earn some coins, essentially, if you do good in a league, you might get 150 play points, and you can play a league again for free. The way you make money on Arena, you don't make money on Arena. The way you make money on MTGO is if you win in a league at least 3 matches out of 5, so you play 5 matches in a row, you get 1 treasure chest. And then if you win 4, you get 5 treasure chests. If you win 5 matches in a row, you win 11 treasure chests. You get some qualifier points. These are used to enter larger tournaments. These chests are usually valued at $2 to $3 a piece. You can sell them at various websites online, very reputably. And like I said, you'll get like 3 or 4 tickets a piece. Then you can sell those tickets for money, and you can like legitimately make money playing Magic. There are some people, they're called MTGO grinders. They make all of their income from it. It's very hard to do. It's kind of like gambling. It's very hard, but it can be done. But we're going to play Standard. We're going to come down here to the practice tournament, or the Standard tournament practice. This is where people are just playing for free. Like, this is nothing is happening here other than we're just playing games for free. Let's see if we can find a match. So we'll create a match. If you ever wanted to, since I don't see anybody playing today, we'll just play a solo match. You can create a 1-person match, and then you're just playing it yourself. So you're basically gold fishing, but you get to like play through the whole deck as if it were a real match. Then you could choose 2 people if you wanted to, but we're going to make one. We're going to create it just for us. It'll pop up. So over here, we've got our avatar, we've got our name, we've got graveyard, we've got exiled, we've got revealed, and we've got anything like special effects. The revealed would be like, let's say you thought sees somebody and you get to see their hand. It stores all that for you so you don't have to like write it all down. So we get the option to mulligan or keep. This hand looks pretty bad. If we only had 1 more white mana, it'd be pretty great going from the Generous Visitor into the Jukai Naturalist, but it's not going to happen with this. So we're going to mulligan, get a fresh 7. That's good enough. We'll keep. We have to put 1 of these back on bottom. We'll put the 3rd land. I kind of want to get working towards this, but we're not going to have the right mana for it anyway. We'll put the extra Rune of Might down. When you put 1 on bottom, it gives you the chance to like go back. Oh, I don't want to do that. So then you can cancel, redo. But we're going to put that on bottom. We're going to hit done. So in here, there's a lot of cool things you can do and set up. So everywhere down here, these are all the phases of the game, and you have all these little white triangles. Now, if I had a real opponent, there'd be actually a triangle on both sides. And where the triangle is white is where it's going to stop automatically. And you can change that. So let's say I wanted to stop on my draw step 2. I can right-click on that, go to my turn, and I can put a stop there. So now it'll always stop at my draw phase. So for example, if I hit next or hit OK, it'll go to my draw phase and stop. Now I can't do anything because I'm still in my draw phase, but maybe you'd want to do that. Then I can hit OK again, and now we're in our main phase. Now we can start playing spells. Clearly we just want to drop this land. Oh, I should have played Beseiju. Oh well. I'm playing quickly and I'm trying to just record the video. So since no combat could happen, we didn't have any creatures that could attack. We just moved right through combat. Nothing triggered, nothing happened. It just moves straight through it up to our next triangle, which is main phase. If you want to hit OK, you can. You can also hit the number 1, and that will just move through. Now we'll go back to our turn again because we're the only ones playing. I'm going to remove this stop because I don't want it there. So you'll see now we'll just move right through our draw phase. So we get a land. Man, really punished for playing that, aren't we? Well, just to keep things going, let's play this Beseiju. Whenever you click on a card that has multiple abilities, so if you click on it with a left click, you get the chance to play it as a land, or you get the chance to do whatever else it can do, like cycle, or in this case, channel. We're not going to channel it though, we're just going to play it. So if we want to play a spell, you saw me play it with that. I can either float the mana and then cast a spell, or I can hit undo here. I can cast the spell, choosing the target, and then I can pay the mana. Now, as you pay the mana one at a time, it'll automatically pay it up here. So if you hit undo here, so right now the computer is telling us we need to pay 1 and a green for the spell. So if I float a green, it'll pay that green first, and then I could pay anything, but I'll just pay that. By playing this, we have a trigger go on the stack, and the arrows will show you what is targeting what. So the blue arrow going up would show you that this creature is creating a trigger, and the red arrow coming down will tell you what it's targeting. Now, whenever it's targeting itself, it does this little half and half split thing. But like if this was targeting another creature, then it would have an arrow up from Generous Visitor and an arrow down onto, let's say, our Jukai Naturalist. Let's say I don't want to always hit OK to this because I have to pass priority on this because in MTGO, we have chess timers. Now, I don't have it when I'm playing solo, but there'd be a little timer right here that says like 25 minutes to start, and it starts ticking down. You get 25 minutes, just like on Arena. If I don't want to waste time always hitting OK, because I always want this to resolve, I can right-click on this, and I can always yield. I can yield to it until the end of turn, and I can also save the target. So let's say that I wanted to target, if I had something that always triggered and I always wanted to target the same creature, I can save those targets every time. But I just want to yield to this every time, so it just happens. So now the spell is on the stack. I need to hit OK for it to resolve. So again, here we have that. This is, we have a trigger on the stack, and it's telling me that this thing is making the trigger. So I'll draw a card. I will go to combat, and I can hit attack. I can click on it to attack. Since I am the only one playing, it technically has me attacking myself. This is a good example of, so you can see here how if I hover over this Rune of Might, which you can enlarge by holding middle click, it will show me that it is targeting this for its equip. It's equipped to this permanent. But I hit OK, or 1, it'll turn sideways, it'll be declared attackers. I will not declare any blockers, and then I'll take 3 damage. So my turn's done. So now we can play the Sundown Pass, we can tap 2, we can play the Jukai Naturalist. So you see there how it immediately triggered. It didn't even show up on the screen. It just happened because I've yielded to it. So now enchantments cost 1 less. So now we can bring this down. We can put this onto our Generous Visitor. So since this triggered, we do have to put it onto the stack. The way we do that is by clicking on it. And, oh, I see. So, sorry. It has, I forgot. This is the one that puts on target creature. This is one of those where, since I don't have a target saved, the trigger yielded automatically, but I still have to choose my targets for it. So I could cancel. Now I could and save targets. Now when I put it on here, now it should do it automatically. So it goes on, draws me a card, go to combat, attack for 6. So let's say it's my opponent's turn and I don't have anything I want to do. When you right click, you get a whole bunch of options of things you can do. Like you can view your sideboard, or you can concede the game. You can turn off auto yields. Auto yields are basically when you say, I'm not going to do anything, so don't wait on me. So that would be like if it's your opponent's turn and you're not going to have any responses or anything, you could just yield until the end step and it'll just move through the game until combat, because it'll let you respond to combat. Like if they attack you, you could block. Well, let's say I don't want to attack. Moves to end step, and that's where it stops. The other thing you can do is you can actually just yield through the turn. So I could hit yield turn. Again, it'll stop at combat because that's relevant. And then it'll move right through the turn, straight back to the upkeep. great way to like save time when you're playing through a game, and like especially if you're playing Commander, you can just yield if you've like tapped out, you have no response, you can just yield through the turn, or you can yield like tell you can actually one other thing you can do is you can say I've got 3 opponents, I'm not going to do anything. I can right click over here, I can go to my turn, and I can yield until here. And that means that like it'll go through everyone's turn, they can do whatever they want, and you won't it will never ask you to pass priority again. So you can kind of just like sit back and relax. So we'll play this land. Let's cast this Showdown to the Scalds. We'll pay our 3 mana. It actually shows it updates it in real time, and it shows you exactly what it costs when you try to cast it. So even though it says 4 mana down here, it doesn't change it like Arena does. When you try to cast it, it does show you up here that it's costing this much and that it's 1 less because of the Jukai Naturalist. So we'll pay the 3 mana. So here's where I didn't pay. I never floated white mana, so it never got a chance to pay it. That's why we'll go back, and then we'll tap this. Instead of tapping it for red, we'll tap it for white, and then we'll pay 1 more. This will come in. This should resolve on its own. That'll come in. Now this is our exiled zone, so we can play these cards from exile until the end of turn, just like on Arena. I don't want to do any of that, so let's just move. I can click on each of these individually, or I can just attack all with right click, hit OK, hit OK, hit OK. Boom. Now we're down to 4. Go to our next turn. Scalds will trigger again. And then, now we can just move in. We can attack for lethal. Technically, we're going to lose and win. The game doesn't really worry about trying to assign like actually who won or lost, because we're playing solo. We're just playing to test the deck. Go back to our play lobby. That is the 10-minute scoop on how to download MTGO, how to copy a deck, rent a deck, upload a deck, and play a deck. There's a lot of things you're going to have to learn, because there are some tips and tricks to it, and there's some bull crap here and there, just like on Arena, but you'll find it. I recommend picking out a deck, maybe doing 1 or 2 solitaire games to kind of figure it out, and then just play some of this standard tournament practice or Pioneer tournament practice, any of these, where it's free, you can play as much as you want, it doesn't matter, and you can kind of learn your deck and figure it out. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments, or even shoot me an email at cantripcartel@gmail.com. I'd be happy to help you with any issues you're having getting started on MTGO, because I do love this program. It's a great way to just hop on and just play some Commander on a Saturday afternoon for fun instantly. Like, look at all these people looking to play Commander. All right. Well, that's all I've got. And like I said, any questions, put them in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Adios.